Hello, student. Welcome to the Millennium Academy. Today, we are starting the service department costs. Basically, when we talk about the service department, that a company might have a production department or it may have a service department. So, production department like that is producing some product, for example, your assembly department or other departments. So, whereas the servicing department might be stores department, maintenance department, and so on. So, they are providing service to the production department. Let's say you have a processing department, assembly department. Those need the services. They need machine to be maintained. So there's a maintenance department. And for production, we need the material requisitioning to the production department. That we need the stores department. So basically, these departments have to be closed down and their cost has to be transferred to the production department. So under these, we have three methods we have when we allocate the service department cost to the production department. If I show you here, you can see this is the question what we have. This is the question we have. So if you see that we have here machining department and assembling department, whereas there are two servicing department, we have quality control and maintenance department. The question is that how we can allocate these costs to our production department. So there are three methods we have. So let's see one by one. So we have direct method, step method, and reciprocal method. If I show you here the direct method, basically direct method comprises that the cost is allocated only to the production department. So whatever cost you have, it has to be allocated only to the production department. Let's say we have there are two service department. We have S1 and S2. So S1 cost will only be going to production department 1 and production department 2. So S1 will be closed down and all its costs will be transferred to the service department, production department 1 and 2. Whereas service department 2 costs similarly will only be allocated to production department 1 and production department 2. So what is that in the direct method, that all service department costs only transferred to the production departments, right? So under direct method, we ignore any services that are provided between the service department, right? Costs of service department are allocated directly and only to the production departments. No service costs are allocated to other service department. This is the main thing you have, right? So cost of the different service department may be allocated to the production department using different allocation basis, and allocation basis depend on the service department, how it provide the service to the production department, right? Next method, we have the step method, right? So under step method, how we will be allocating the cost? We'll be allocating the cost under service department that first of all, first service department will be providing service to all other departments, right? So first service department will be providing service to all other departments, but once a service department is closed down, right? So the second service department cost will not be allocated back to it. So you can see here that we have S1, it provided service to production department 1, production department 2, as well as other service department 2, right? So S1, all costs we have transferred to P1, P2, and S2. Now S1 department closed, all its cost has gone to all other departments, right? Now what we have to do, S2 department now we have to close. So service department 2 department, when you will close, so you will be transferring its cost to all departments other than the closed department, because S1 is closed. So the S2 will not be transferring cost to S1. It will only transfer to cost to departments other than the closed department, right? So you understand the difference between these two? Direct method only allocate to what departments?
Production.
Production only, right? But in the step method, so we can see the first service department cost goes to all department, but once a service department is closed, the no cost will be allocated back to it, right? So what is the step method?
Step method.
Allocate first service department cost to all department.
Next.
Right.
All departments.
All production and service department. Right. Whichever department it's providing service, it will allocate. Right. But once any department is closed, its service will not be, other service department cost will not come back to it. Right. This is the step method we have. Right. So under step method, we take into account some of the services that are provided to other service department. There must be an order in which allocate the cost of the service departments, right? So now this is the decision that now we can say there are two service department, S1 and S2. So either we will close S1 first or S2 first, right? Either it will be mentioned. If it is not mentioned, we will find out that which service department is providing more service to the other department. Let's see here. If you see, let's understand the third department. Then I will tell you that how will be the allocation. Next, we have the algebraic method, right? Or we also call the reciprocal method, right? So what is the reciprocal method? So algebraic method or reciprocal method, it's the same thing. Okay. So what is the, here you can see by this diagram, you can easily understand that S1 department, first service department closed and all its cost goes to P1, P2 and S2 department, right? So S1 is closed for time now, but what happened that when S2 department is closing, its cost not only going to other department, but as well the department which is closed, right? So this is called reciprocal transfer. So each department is providing service to other, not all department there, but with some departments like may provide service to 3 departments, some 4 department, depending how much, who is taking the service of that department, right? So here we can see when S1 department is there, it provides service to P1, P2 as well as S2 department. When S2 department is closed, right, it will be transferring back to service department 1, production department 1, production department 2. So actually you will say how it will happen. It is also already closed down. S1 department already closed down, then how the cost will be coming back to it. Actually, suppose we have S1 department cost 100,000. So we will find out before allocating this 100,000, we will find out that how much, let's say S1 is taking 20% service from S2. So 20% cost of S2 will be coming to S1. So if we have 100,000 cost here for S1 and suppose 20% cost is valuing 30,000. So we will find out how much will be the cost, total cost of S1, its own cost plus some cost it's going to receive from S2, right? We will find out by equation way that how much cost additionally will be coming from other service department. So 100,000 of its own and 30,000 of the service department too. 130 we are going to close, right? So this is, once we solve the question, you will understand properly. So simple words is that in the reciprocal or algebraic method, we will be allocating cost to service department 1, so and then S2 department cost will again may come back to the closed department, right? This is what we are going to study. So we have basically 4 methods, right? Now let's go ahead. We will solve the question and then you will understand properly. If you see here, we have a question that says, question 36 to 40 relates to that. Manager of rotisserie manufacturing are discussing ways to allocate the cost of service departments such as quality control and maintenance. So which are service department, quality control and maintenance to the production cost departments, right? So what we are doing, So Rochester is allocating service department cost to production department. Right. To aid this discussion, controller has provided the following information. So here we have that quality control department, maintenance, machining, assembly. Their direct cost is given, right? So how much cost is actually this department has incurred? Quality control 350, maintenance 200,000, machining 400,000, assembly 300,000. Total cost of all department is 1,250,000. Now, you see, it is mentioned that budgeted machine hours. Machine hours, we have machining department. So machine hours are worked basically in machining department 50,000 hours. Whereas budgeted direct labor hours. So in assembly, there's a labor work. So labor hours given in assembly departments. Fine. Now this point is important. How much service each department provides to each other. So we can see here that budgeted hours of service quality control department, that is this one, quality control department is providing how many hours service to maintenance? 7,000 hours service to maintenance, 21,000 hours to machining, and 7,000 to assembly. So basically quality control department has worked 35,000 hours, and the breakup of hours for which like they provided the quality, right? It is mentioned 7,000 to maintenance, 21,000 to machining, and assembly 7,000, right? So if you want to allocate now, we will see that first of all, we use the direct method. Direct method, we can see graphically that only service department are providing service only to production department, not to each other, right? They provide service to only production department. S1 providing to P1, P2, S2 is providing to P1, P2, not back to each other. So this method we are going to adopt first, right? Let's see, here is the direct method we have. The direct method we will follow. Let's first of all, I'll erase this all this stuff and we will do it all again. See now here, how much is the direct cost given, right? Direct cost of each is given, that is quality control 350, machining 200,000, sorry, maintenance 200, machining 400, assembly 300,000. So first of all, we will write down how much is the cost of each department is there. Now, we have to close down service department. So how much is the quality control cost? 350. This cost we have to transfer to which department according to the direct method?
Assembly, production.
Production only. So production departments are basically
Machinery and assembly.
machining assembly, right?
Yeah.
So remember, so this 350,000 cost we will transfer only to machining and assembly, right? So remember, so machining, how many quality control providing how many hours to machining?
21.
21. How much to assembly?
7.
7. Total will become how much?
29.
28, right?
28, sorry.
Right. So we understand that although quality control has provided service to maintenance as well, but because we are using the direct method, we will only allocate to machining and assembly. 21,000 to machining, 7,000 assembly, total 28,000. Not 35, right? Okay.
Not 35.
So how we will allocate? Because we are allocating 21,000 to machining out of total 28, right? 21,000 divided by 28, right? So here I'll allocate. So I have to allocate the cost. Let's see, here I'll make it. So quality control cost, right? What I'll do, I will 350,000 minus, right? Minus 350,000. I will minus, right? All costs is go nothing to maintenance, right? But machining and assembly, right?
Yes. 0.
0. Now here machining we have to allocate. So I told you already that we will allocate machining 21 out of total 28, right?
28.
Machining and assembly. So here I am showing how it'll work. 21,000 divided by 28,000. All 3 zeros I'm
Into-
skipping, right? 21 divided by 28 multiply by
Into
how much is the cost of quality control?
3.50.
350, right?
Hmm.
350,000. This is what we are going to allocate. Let's see now that we are going to allocate. Let me put equal to find out the final value. Here, 262,500, right? So how we have done? Machining, right? Quality control provided 21,000, service to machining and to assembly 7, total 28. So 21 over 28 into the quality control cost 350. How can I calculate for assembly now?
7,000 into 7 into 28
7 divided by
by 28
28 into
350,000.
350,000, right? Okay.
87,500.
Okay, 87.
500.
87,500. Let's check it if I total, right? If I total all.
Hmm.
So minus 350 minus 350 is actually doing it. Okay. Let me add. Plus this, right? How much? 0, right? Because minus 350 and plus 350 equal to what? 0. Agree?
Yes.
So this is what we allocated. Now quality control costs we have allocated to machining and assembly, and net effect is 0 because minus 350 and plus 350 net effect is 0. Now let's close the maintenance department. So maintenance department is this one. How much is the cost of maintenance? 200,000. How much maintenance providing service to the production departments?
Quality production 18, 20.
These two only.
200,000.
So it's providing quality control as well, but we are looking only production, right? So total will be how many? 18 and 12, 30.
30.
30.
So how I'll do it now? 18,
Divided by
30 into how much is the cost?
10,000.
Machine maintenance 200,
200.
Sorry.
200,000.
right? 200,000. So 18 over 30 divided by maintenance department cost, that is 300,000. 200,000, sorry. That is how much? 120. Okay. All right. How will allocate to the assembly department?
12 divided by 80.
12 divided by
30.
30 into
200,000.
200,000, right? So
80,000.
let's copy it
80,000.
and apply the formula.
80,000.
Okay. And we should do minus 80 here, right? Okay, minus
Now
80,000.
the
Sorry?
it's not
Sorry, minus 200.
80,000.
Minus 200.
This side. No, this side. Maintenance side.
Yeah, you're right. Maintenance side. Minus 200,000. And here it is nothing, right? So maintenance department, 200,000 we will allocate to whom? This and this. So if I'll apply formula now, that will be how much? Nil. Agree? 200 minus 200 plus 0, right?
Hmm.
Agree? So if I want to know now department cost, quality control cost will become how much? 0, right?
Yeah.
350 plus 350 minus 0. Here, how much is the maintenance cost? 0. Okay. And here, how much costs? We have 3 costs. One is machining own cost
Oh,
plus how much allocated
262.
quality control
2,500.
262 plus how much allocated of maintenance
120.
120. That is 782,500, right?
Yes.
How will allocate to how will be the what will be the cost of assembly? 300
3,
plus
87, 5.
87,500 plus 80, right? That's
80.
467,000. If I'll add all this stuff, that will be same, right? Means horizontally, if I add, so it will be how much? Same, right? 1250, remaining 1250. Only thing, these two departments have been closed down and the cost has come to only machining and assembly, right? So it is very important, you know, at the end of the year or so, we have to find out what is the total cost of production. So how we can do it, all the service department costs will transfer to production and then we can find out what are the total costs there. So this is the, we have done. This is what we've done. So let's come, because this I have this is the question there in your book basically. So I have taken the same your book question. This is the one, right? So let's see, they are asking question 17, if Rochester uses step method, we have not done step method now, direct method. This is the question, right? So let me bring that one here so that you can see that are we getting the same answer or not, right? So here, if I bring, this is direct method. If I bring the question here and okay, right. What it says, using direct method, the total amount of overhead allocated to each machine hour. What? Right? The total amount of overhead allocated to each machine hour at Rochester would be total amount of overhead allocated. Total amount of overhead allocated. So how much overhead is allocated to it? Total, how much allocated to it? To machining, right? Machine hour means machining. So how much total overhead is allocated? Total overhead is how much?
Where the
So,
782,500, right? Total is 782,500. If we divide by 50,000, what? So what we'll be getting?
15.65.
You have divided that?
No, just 15.65, I think.
If I say, right, cost per machine hour, right? Cost per machine hour, right? How we will calculate, how much is the cost? 7 machine hours.
50,000.
Okay, leave it. 50,000. 50,000. So cost per machine hour will be is equal to 782,500 divided by 15.65, right?
Hmm.
15.65. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So 782,500 divided by 50,000. If we divide it by 50,000, so that we got it, it become how much? 15.65 per machine hour. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. 18 we have done. This is also direct method, right? Okay. What it says now, if Rokesa uses direct method of allocating such department cost, the total service cost allocation. Total service cost allocated to assembly department. So how much service cost allocated to assembly department? Assembly department is this one, right? This is assembly department. So tell me how much total service department cost allocated to it? Quality control, how much cost allocated?
Holiday 87.
How much maintenance department allocated? 80. So total will be what? 80, 81, 67, 500, right?
Yeah.
Agree? So what is the answer? D. Okay. D is the answer. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you understand here in the question 18, using direct method, the total amount of overhead allocated to each machine hour.
Mm.
Here was asking total cost allocated. So we have taken all 782,500. But in the next question, they're asking how much service department cost allocated, right? Service department is coming only 87 and 80. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is what we discussed, the direct method. Any confusion in the direct method? Any confusion?
No.
No. Right. Okay. Now we have to go for the next method. And next method is about the step method. Step method, this is, I told you, a graphical presentation that first service department cost will be allocated to other department. But when service department S1 is closed, so the other service department cost will not coming back to it. So S2 cost is not coming back to it, right? So the problem with this method is that because we have two service department, so we have to close first department. But first department will be which one? Either quality control should be the first or maintenance should be the first, right? So in that, first of all, it might be the policy of the company, or when you're giving exam, it might be given in the question that which department to close first. But suppose it is not mentioned. Suppose it is not mentioned which service department to close, then you have to make a decision which department to close first. Well, how will make the decision? The department that is providing more service to other department should be closed first. Okay. The department that is providing more service to the other department, that should be closed first. So how we'll find out? If you see quality control. Quality control is providing, here is QC, quality control providing how much service to maintenance? 7,000. Agree?
Yeah.
QC is providing 7,000. Out of total, how much? 35, right? 7 over 35. So quality control providing how much service? 7 over 35. Agree?
Yes.
That is how much percent? 20%. Right? 7 over 35, 20%. Now, how much maintenance is providing service to quality control? 10,000. Out of total 40, right?
Oh.
So 10 over 40 means 25%. Agree? So which department is providing more service to other service department?
Maintenance.
Maintenance providing more service. So if the question does not mention anything, so you have to go this way. You have to calculate that each service department providing how much service to other departments, and you will see that which department is providing more service. You will close that department first, right? You will close that department first, right? But anyway, we will see in our question that what they have told us. Have they mentioned anything? Here is a step method, right? Let's take that question there. So we are doing the step method, right? Okay. The step method, we have to do it. Let's erase this all data. We will do our way. Okay. Now, the cost of each department already given. So I have written that one already. Now, let's see the question. If Rochester uses step-down method of allocating service department cost, beginning with quality control, it means they have already given us which department to close first, right? The maintenance cost allocated to assembly department. No worries, so we have to close first of all quality control, right? How we will be doing it, quality control cost?
Minus 35,000. Minus
350, right? We have to allocate. Quality control, how much we'll allocate? So will we allocate to maintenance?
35,000. Yeah.
Yes, we will allocate now, right? So how much to maintenance? 7.
7 divided by 35.
Okay, 7 divided by 35 into how much is the cost?
35,000. 3.50.
350,000, right?
Yeah.
That I should bring it
Oh,
here in the
column.
here, right? In the maintenance. So and here it will be minus 350,000, right? Or better, I should in the next line. Okay. So 7 over 35 into 350,000, right? So let's see here.
70,000.
70,000 allocated to maintenance, right? How much will allocate to machinery?
21 divided by 35.
21 divided by 35 into 350,000. Okay. That is
21,000.
to 10,000. How much to assembly now?
Balance amount.
Right. How much assembly? 7, right? 7 over
70,000.
into 350,000, right? Okay.
Yeah. 70,000.
So it will be okay. So this is we have done the allocation. Let's total
0.
0, right? Because 350 minus and this all 350 plus
260.
0, right? Now, how much cost? Which one we have to close first?
Next maintenance.
Maintenance. How much cost we have to allocate?
270.
Yes. We have to allocate how much? 270,000 we have to allocate. So 200 plus 70 we received from quality control, right? 270. So I'll do here minus 270,000 here. And here, how I'll allocate now?
12 divided by 40.
12.
So it's 207, right? So it's 7,000 only.
What 7,000?
No,
Total,
maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance
200,000 already there.
200
That
and
we have to close.
70 this one, right? Total 270,
Okay, okay.
right? Because
Mm.
200 its own cost, but 70 we received of quality control.
Okay.
270, right? 270. Okay. Now we have to close which department? Maintenance.
Maintenance.
Mm.
How we will close?
18 divided by 40.
No. Because once one department is closed, we are not going to transfer any cost back to it, right? So it's not coming to S1 any cost, right? It's going only to
Yes.
P1, P2, right?
Yeah.
So only machining and
Yes.
assembly, right? So it will be 18 plus 12, 30. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Then okay.
Right.
18,
So we will allocate now 18 over 30 into 350,000. Agree?
No, 270.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. 270,000. Right. So $162,000 is coming to machining. How much will come to assembly now?
138,000.
No. How much? How Mekha will do it?
So equal to 12,000 divided by 30 into 270,000.
270,000, right?
138. 138. 128. 108.
108,000. So if I now check the total, right? Or is it 10 more? I think.
270 exceeded.
Yeah.
10 extra.
Okay, so nil, right?
Okay.
So now we can see 1250 is a cost. Now it will also be, again, if I total, it will be same. Now, what is the cost here? If I check this cost, the quality control will become how much?
0.
350 plus minus 350, 0, right? If I just drag it here, how much? It's also 0, right? And oh, now we cannot do it, right? So now manually I'll do it. 200. How much is the cost? 400 its own. Okay, plus 210 plus 162, right?
160.
Huh? What is it?
Correct.
Okay, this is coming. 772, right? Next, same way I
Again,
can do,
copy
right?
paste.
Can I drag it
And
here?
copy paste.
Right? So 300, 370 and 108. Total become how much? 478, right? Okay, this is the cost. So anyway, what was the requirement? Direct method, step method used, starting first of all the quality control. The cost allocated to the assembly department. How much cost is allocated, right? So the maintenance cost allocated to assembly department. How much maintenance cost allocated to assembly department? How much cost allocated to assembly department? Maintenance cost allocated to assembly
1
department. How much?
108,000.
Yes, 108,000, right? So maintenance cost allocated to assembly 108,000. Understand?
Yes.
So this is basically asked, right? This is what is asked here, right? 108,000, right? That is asked. So earlier we discussed about that was the question that was asked, right? Anyway, so that we done. Let's come to the next. So this was step method. This was direct we have done. This is also direct we have done. So reciprocal, uh, uh, okay, this is they have not done, right? But anyway, we have done both ways, right? Okay, now we have already found out. So if you say, if you use the step method, how much cost allocated, right? To they mention about maintenance cost allocated to the assembly department. So in this question, they can ask you anything, right? They can, just like in the previous question, they had asked, what is the total cost allocated, right? This was asked.
Hmm.
What was asked? What is the total cost? So 120 and 80, we say 87 and 80, that we calculated, right? So 87,000 plus 80,000. So it was coming how much? 167,500, right? This is the way it was coming. Okay. All right. So they can ask you anything, right? So in first question, they ask you what is the machine hour, right? Machine cost per hour. They can also ask this way as well for assembly, right? Because assembly hours are also given, right?
Hmm.
So if they ask you what is the cost allocated to each assembly, each labor hour, how will you will calculate? Labor hours there in which department? Assembly, right?
Assembly.
What is the
Yeah.
total cost allocated to each machine hour? Can you tell me the answer? Hmm? What is total assembly cost?
Total assembly was 782.
Huh?
500. Sorry, 467,500.
467,500. So I'm saying total cost allocated to each labor hour. So how many labor hour are there now?
25,000
25,000. So what will be coming?
divided by 25,000.
Divide by 25,000. So it will come around how much?
Yes.
200,000, I think. 20,000 somewhat. How much?
1
Divide by
point
25,000. 20? Huh?
Yeah. 525. Yeah. 25. 10. 20, around
67,500
8, 19.
divided by 25,000, right?
19 point, 19 point something.
18.7,
18 point.
right?
Hmm.
18.7. If they ask about what is the total cost allocated to each labor hour. So what we will do, total cost allocated, although they are not mentioning assembly, but labor hour are there in assembly, right? So you will divide assembly total cost divided by labor hours. So this is the way they can ask you the question, or they can ask you what is the total cost of machining? 782. What is the total cost of assembly? 467, right? Or what is the quality control cost allocated to machining? What is the quality control cost allocated to assembly? Or what is the total cost allocated, total service department cost allocated to machining? Total service department cost allocated to machining. So service department is receiving service quality control cost plus It's
Okay, and
receiving
20.
the maintenance cost, right? So these two you are going to add, right?
Yeah.
How much service department cost allocated to this? This is what you are going to add.
380.
Okay. Now we are going to the third method. This is called the reciprocal method, right? Reciprocal method of allocation, right? What is the reciprocal method of allocation? Basically, we say that service department 1 will provide service to the all department, and service department 2 will also provide to all department, right? So here is the problem there, that once you close S1, right? So how the cost will be coming to it, right? So in that, what we will find out first, that what the cost is S2 will provide to S1, that we will find first. So we'll find total cost S1 its own cost plus how much S2 cost will come to it. So that total value we should know first. Its own cost already there. S1 all cost, let's say the quality control 350 cost. But how much maintenance cost will be coming on quality control, that we will also find out. And then total what will become the quality control cost, that we will be allocating, right? So let's see here. Here in the step method, basically you see in the maintenance, its own cost was 200. Then how much quality control cost came? 270, right? So we will find out that
Yeah.
how much cost right will be coming off the other department, and that total we will be allocating, right?
Yes.
So this is we have to work on algebraic method. How we will work on? Let's see here. Let's see here how we'll work on. All right. See, how much is the quality control own cost?
350. 350. 350.
350. Right. It will receive some cost of maintenance, right? How much maintenance cost? 7,000 hours out of total 35. Agree?
Yeah.
So, quality control, sorry, receive maintenance 10,000, right? Quality control will receive 10,000 of maintenance, right? Out of total 40,000. Agree?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
10 over 40, right? So, quality control will provide 10 over 40. That is how much percent? 10 over 40 means 25%, right? So
Yes.
quality control, its own cost will be 350 is given plus 10,000 over 40,000, right? 10 over 40, right? 10 over 40, that is 0.25 of maintenance, right?
Yes.
0.25 of maintenance. So 250 quality control, own cost 350 and 10 over 40, that is 25% of maintenance, right? That is the first equation. That is your first equation. Then for maintenance, you will do the same. Maintenance own cost is how much? 200,000.
200,000.
And how much it will receive? Maintenance will receive how much quality control? 7,000 out of 35. 7 over 35, that means 20%, right? Agree? So maintenance will receive how much of quality control? 7 over total 35. 7 over 35 means 20%. It means the maintenance cost will be its own 200 and 20% of quality control. Agree?
Yes.
Right? So again, I'm telling you, under that, first of all, we should find out that what will be total cost of quality control. So quality control own cost is 350, but 10 over 40, that is 25%, it will receive of maintenance. So this is coming 0.25 M. Whereas the maintenance 200,000, its own cost, but it will receive how much? 7 out of 35, that is 20%, it will receive a quality control, right? So now what we'll do, that quality control, its own cost is 350 plus 0.25 QC, right? 0.25 M, 0.25 M, and M is equal to what? This thing, right? So what we are doing here, basically, we will say that 350,000 its own cost, right? And a quality control own cost 350 and plus 0.25 M. M for maintenance. So M maintenance, we have got 200,000 plus 0.2 QC. So I have written here 0.25 M. At the place of M, I have written 200,000 plus 0.2 QC. Now this 50,000 as it is, but which 0.25 is multiplying 200,000, right? 200 into 0.25 will be 50,000, okay? And 0.25 into 0.2 QC will be what? So 0.25 into 0.2, how much it will be? Check it. 0.25 into 0.2, that is how much?
0.5.
0.05 QC, agree? Because QC was there, I put in QC. So are people understanding?
Yes.
So we got it that QC was equal to 350 plus 0.25 M. M at the place of M is equal to what? 200,000 plus 0.2 QC. So at the place of M, we have written 200,000 plus 0.25 QC. So 0.25 into 200. So it will become 50,000. 0.25 into 0.2, it will become 0.05 QC. Now here become two QCs. One, this QC, the other, this QC, right? This is only QC, it means one QC, right? This is
1.04.
1 QC. Now what I will do that we had QC is equal to, what we had QC is equal to, similarly here we had QC is equal to.
Plus.
So what I've done here, this minus this 0.05 QC, right? This 0.05 QC will bring here, it will become minus 0.05 QC,
95.
right? And 350 plus 50 becomes how much? 400,000,
400,000.
right? So 1 QC minus 0.05 QC equal to how much? 0.95 QC is equal to 400,000, or QC 0.95 will go there, it will divide 400,000, right? So we will be getting QC equal to 421,053, right? So you will see that QC cost was only how much? 350. But now QC cost coming how much? 421,000. So how much will be the cost of maintenance coming here? 421 total and 350 quality control own cost. So how much coming of maintenance? 71, right? 421 minus 350, right? 71 cost is coming. Are you people understanding, or it's tougher?
I understood.
So this is what we discussed, 421,000. QC cost is 421,000. So now if you will, in this equation, let's say, if you put the this 421,000 cost, so let's write down their maintenance cost is equal to what? 200,000 plus 0.2 QC. So 200,000 plus 0.2 at the place of QC, what we will keep? 421,053. So it will be maintenance 200,000, 0.2 into 421,000, that will be 84,211. So total cost will be how much now here? This much, right? Total cost will be how much now? This much. Okay, so anyways, right? So this is what we have, we found out how much is the QC total cost now? 421. How much is the maintenance cost now? 284, 211, right? So first thing is that we have to work out in these equations and we have to find out what will be the QC cost that inclusive of its own and the cost that is coming from maintenance. We found out 421, and what is the cost of maintenance? 200,000 its own, and how much QC cost is coming. So total 200 its own, and the total become 284. It means 84,000. 211 is coming from the quality control, right? So this is little tricky. Now we can easily put things, right? So let's see now, we will be solving the question now. Okay. So how much total cost, QC cost we have to allocate? We already found out that we have to allocate total quality control cost. How much? 421,053. This is the cost we have to allocate. So we'll bring here 421,000, this thing. So it should be minus, right? Is it clear? Mekha, are you getting it?
Yeah.
Right. So 421,000 this cost, and how much the maintenance cost total? 284. All right. Let's bring here how much maintenance cost we will be allocating. We'll be allocating 284, right? Because I will put minus here. This is okay. Fine. So what we have done that first we find out through the working, we find out equation there that how much quality control was 350, but 25% of maintenance it will get. Whereas maintenance its own cost 200, but 20% of quality control it will get. Then we started with equation QC is equal to 350 plus 0.25, and at the place of M, we use this one, right? So M is equal to 200 plus 0.2 QC. So 200 plus 0.2 QC, 0.25 into 200, 50,000, 0.25 into 0.2, 0.05 QC. This 0.05 QC will go there. So 1 minus 0.05 QC, it means 0.95 QC, and 350 plus 50, that becomes 400,000, right? That will be there. So now QC 0.95 will go and it will divide. So 421,000 will be the cost of QC. Now let's see, we will allocate now. Now, because the cost and reciprocal method, each department we will allocate the cost. So maintenance, how much will allocate to maintenance QC cost? QC
284.
7,000. What? 7 over
Hmm.
35, right?
35.
So we will allocate how much? 7 over 35 into what? 421. How much?
421.
421. 053. Right? So remember, we found out that how much the cost will be, including the maintenance. 421. Now we have to allocate 421,000, right? Not 350. Total we should allocate. So if I allocate, that will be how much? Oh, it should be multiply, right?
Into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. 84,211, right? Okay. How we will allocate to machining? Mekha, you tell me.
For machining. Quality. 21.
21 divided by,
35.
yes, into,
421,053.
right? So this is, we are going to allocate here. Point 252,631.8. How we will allocate? Yeah, other student, just tell me. How to allocate?
equal to 7 divided by 35
7 divided by 35
into 421053.
053, right? This is, we will allocate. So how much is coming?
Into
Okay, so now this is we allocated. If you will total, it will become 0, right? Got it? Okay, Prakash, can you tell
Yes.
me how we will allocate maintenance?
Maintenance minus 284 211 sorry. Maintenance 10 divided by
10. Okay,
10 divided by 40
10 divided by 40 into
into 284 211.
284 211, right? Nice. So this thing I will also bring here. Okay, later on percentage will change, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 over 40, let's say what will be the amount there? Okay, 71052. How we will allocate now? What percentage will be for machining now?
18.
18.
18 divided by 40.
18. 18 divided by 40 into 2 for this, right? So let's copy this here. So that will be how much? 127 like this. And how, what percentage will be here?
12 divided by 40.
12 divided by 40 into this, right? So, right. So we have allocated, let's total this 0, right? So this 421, right? First we have allocated. So allocation is not that I think you know how to allocate it. But main thing to find out what? This, right? Main thing is that. So have you understood today's lecture? How we allocate the service department cost to the to the production department.
Production
Sometime directly we allocate only to only to production department, sometime first the service department, and then that other service department will allocate only to production, and sometime reciprocal. Each service department is providing service to each other, right? So this is what we have done. Any question you have this? So you can see reciprocal method. Let's see what it says. This is the direct method. This is reciprocal method. Question 20. If orchestra uses the reciprocal method of allocating service cost, the total cost of quality control cost nearest to dollar to be allocated to the other departments, right? So what it's saying, if orchestra uses the direct reciprocal, their total amount of quality control cost allocated to be allocated to other departments. So how much it will be allocated? So we should know how much will be allocated to each department. We found out 421, right? Agree?
Yes.
We found out
Yeah.
how much will be allocated. 350 was its own cost, but we allocated how much? 421. So algebraic method will be using that, similar method is worked out. If orchestra uses the to allocate production department, where orchestra decides not to allocate service cost, are you getting? If orchestra decides not to allocate service cost to production department, the overhead allocation to each direct labor hour in the assembly department. I think we found out that, right? If they don't allocate, it means what is the assembly department cost then? 300 only, right?
Yes.
If you don't allocate only 300,000 divided by 25, right? So how much
Hmm.
will come? 300 divided by 25. So that is, I think, 12 will come, right? 300,000 divided by 25.
Yeah.
What will come? What will come? Not to allocate. It will be 12. C is the answer, right?
Hmm.
22. Allocation of service department cost to the production department is necessary to control cost, to coordinate production activity, to determine the overhead rate, right? So you must
Yeah.
find out that what will be the overhead rate, because all costs should go to the production department, and then you should know how much overhead will be allocated to the product, right? So this is it. We discussed today that particular service department cost, right? I hope you understand that. Good luck.